First of all, our new HD cameras, one of the flaws or one of the drawbacks to them is that the built-in stabilization is not as good as our old cameras, and I should be training and you should be using tripods as often as possible. As video gets compressed to be displayed on the web, it magnifies most of your faults. Blurry pictures look blurrier, jumpy pictures look jumpier. We need the stable backgrounds. Believe it or not, it actually saves memory in the computer, and as we're editing, it makes for easier editing and uploading if there's less motion in the camera. And we want our motion to be mostly 90% the action that we're videotaping. We don't want to be videotaped. We want to really avoid talking headshots and boring sitting there, or video clips of buildings or anything that can be done with a still photo. So we're actually going to be wanting to shoot the police officers walking around the scene, or the shootout, or people loading and running, or the ambulance taking off and whatnot, or the helicopter taking off and whatnot. We don't want to do the static stuff, and we want the motion to be as evident as possible in the frame, not our own motion, and it makes viewers seasick. Use tripods as often as possible. This one's really sweet, especially for you reporters, because it will fold down and set up on a desktop really nicely for your typical interview shot, and you can be set and rock solid. I use my camera bag a lot, and then I'll just catch to record and then kind of keep my hands off. And so we don't want a lot of zooming and panning in our shots. You want to try as often as possible, especially like Beau using a flip camera, you want to change your composition by moving yourself and your camera instead of zooming. Does that make sense? Those flip cams, you try to zoom on them and the quality just degrades every time you zoom in. These do really well, and you can zoom in a long distance, but then your shots get shakier and shakier, and even a little bit of breeze will look like you're on a high rolling sea. It's crazy. The only panning that I do like is when you are panning on a certain subject. Football is a classic example. Quarterback drops back, throws the football, I try to follow the football, the catch, and then the run. I take that wide shot, medium shot to every individual composition that I'm shooting in. Just like you're saying, you're walking up on the big fire scene, the very first thing I do is wide shot that shows all the trucks, the house, and whatnot. Then the medium shot, I'm looking in at like 1 or 2 fire trucks or 1 or 2 firefighters, and then the tight shot of maybe just... Then if I go around to the side of the house, then I start the same thing. Wide shot, tight shot, or wide shot, medium shot, tight shot. And just do that around the whole thing, and 5-second shots of each thing. You redo it. And then when you get back, then I can throw out, and Patrick and I can throw out, or you choose to use or choose not to use those different specific things. I am a big firm believer in the famous quote, if your pictures aren't good enough, you're not close enough. Getting closer to your subjects resolves way more technical issues than you could ever imagine, both in still and video. Every video we do requires audio. We really are emphasizing getting what we call natural sound, natural on the scene. We don't want to be coming back and having Brooke or Patrick do voiceovers. Out here in the desert,
where are you tomorrow?
You've got to have a drop dead, no wind day, or you've got to take those people inside. I don't care, but sometimes I even put my hand over the lens. I'll sit in the car, close the doors, and I will record them saying whatever it is that I want them to say. Okay, officer, tell me about the accident that just happened while we're sitting here in the car. That way I get nice, quiet audio. I drop out the audio from all the action shots that I'm doing, and then I don't have to worry about noise. The flips have a very well organized, defined microphone pattern, and they really are built for social videos where I'm going to take a video, and isn't this going to be funny, of me and Patrick, or me and Peter talking. And so the flip videos record very well what's directly behind them and what's directly in front of them, but it does a very poor job of what's around them. That helps because the flips tend to defer wind noise. You don't get much wind noise unless the wind is coming right at you or right at your back. You don't get much crosswind, which is kind of nice. You can be a little sloppier, a little lazier about how bad the wind is and get away with it. With shotgun mics are not like these, so I can listen to what the coach is saying across the field, or spy on somebody way down the block. Shotgun mics are designed to almost totally eliminate any side noise. And so if I point it at Peter, I will not hear what Patrick, Sarah, or Beatrice might be saying. If I point it at Beau, I won't hear any of you guys, I'll just hear Beau. If you're going to ask somebody to do an audio track for you or in an interview, always hit record for a second or two before they start talking. And this is the hard part, always get record for a second or two after they stop talking. It's really hard to edit out the yeah, where they finish that sentence and then they go yeah, and then go right into their next sentence. And it's really hard to get a clean cut there. We want a couple seconds of blank video with the shot still there so that we can make a nice clean cut. If you guys roll any more than 30 or 45 seconds per clip and start getting into the 2 minutes of just hit record, I'm going to let you guys edit that video.